Okay, cameras on.
The other one did the polys. Remember that guy? You're sharp as a bowling ball. As a bowling ball. You know, Freddie, you're about as sharp as a bowling ball. That's nice.
Thanks for the compliment.
Did I get a B?
Now if you said that to a student, you'd have like a.
Oh my God, you'd get thrown in jail for saying
Yeah.
that to a student now.
He and Mr. Regal, two of my favorite teachers going through the high school. Mr. Regal was, that man, he used to call me a Nimrod, an idiot.
That's
I
doing that
never
now.
paid attention. You know, I was like, I never, but for him, he called me that kind of stuff, and I paid attention, I was good in that class.
11 o'clock. Call the meeting of the Personnel Committee to order. Roll call, please.
Fred Mogle,
Here.
Steve Brunner,
Here.
Jana Barnett, here, Dave Reeser,
Here.
and Ron Senko.
Here.
Thank you. Is there any public comment this time? Hearing none, I take the prerogative of the chair to move item 7 to the top, executive session, and go to executive session regarding personnel matters at this time.
And I guess we're gonna discuss the rest afterwards?
Yes. I didn't hear what you said, but yes.
I just got the rest afterwards.
Yes, yes.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go back into regular session. During the executive session, we discussed personnel matters. Item number 4, lead building and grounds maintenance position.
So the current lead, Kent Robinson, has indicated he will be retiring sometime in the next, I'm gonna say 6 to 12 months. In the meantime, Craig Heck has been shadowing him for about the past 12 months, learning the intricacies of that job because opening and closing the pool is a big part of it, and that's somewhat specialized. We opened knowing, Kent's retirement is eventually coming. We opened the position internally to see what candidates would be interested. Craig is the only person that submitted a letter of interest. He is more than qualified. I mean, I can let Greg and Jim answer any questions about his capabilities. So the request would be to approve promoting Craig to the lead position. The title as lead would be taken away from Kent, but his pay rate would remain the same until he retires.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Yeah.
Now, but that's
Do we want to quickly discuss now the?
I was gonna bring up under old business, but I mean, you're welcome to stick around for a little bit more.
I'm sure you got it.
Item 5, employee harassment and workplace civility training.
Yes.
Yes, so.
Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll give you an update then on the rest of it. I received 2 proposals after reaching out to Marcella Herbine, so Kubrick Resources, as to conducting in-house harassment and workplace civility training, which is something the borough has never done before, but I think it's well past time we start doing it. You were both given copies of those proposals in advance of the meeting. The numbers are pretty close to one another. Not included, at least in the Marcella Herbine proposal, but something I discussed with both them and Tom Kubrick is at some point down the road, also assisting the borough in an employee handbook cleanup that Melissa and I are working on in-house, but that would come further down the road. So I don't know, if based off the proposals, anyone on the committee has any questions or a preference as to one firm over another.
I've used them both. They're both very good. Tom is a taxpayer. And I think you get more personal attention with Tom than you would with the other one. With basically it's Irvine.
And then just call it out.
Smaller operation.
What's that?
It's a smaller operation.
Kubrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kubrick would give you more.
that all he does, that line of work?
Yeah.
He also
We
can,
use him a lot, we use their firm a lot for certain clients when they come in with a question, they have a discount through us and all that stuff, but
he came highly recommended by West Reading. He does their in-house training as well as he just helped them rewrite their handbook.
now, for all of you who were on council long enough, he was also the head of the
ARL for, he's the
ARL,
executive director
and jammed
for,
us with a fee that we weren't expecting, but you gotta separate jobs, I think. It's just my point, I work with them both, I think you get more personal attention and quicker response from you.
You wanna make a motion, Steve?
I'll make a motion that we take Hubert, that we utilize Hubert resources.
Is it a fixed price contract?
yes. The numbers are in here.
Comparable cost between the two, comparable.
Herbine's a little more expensive.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion?
Did you see that? Is that harassment?
I did not,
That's
Yeah.
assault,
you're
actually.
also not an employee.
I wonder if all I.
By the way,
assault.
By the way, by the way, I wanna make it clear, it's not employee harassment, it's employee anti-harassment, right? Just to make sure.
Yeah, what's the matter with bringing it back?
Yeah, I already know how to harass, I just need the other
Yeah, I
part.
don't know.
So just Pete, since you're here, I assume you want that to go through finance since it's not budgeted.
Would have to.
Will
Yeah.
this also apply everybody, police department
So
also?
it's police, fire, admin, all of our summer staff, every employee of the borough.
Okay.
Part-time, full-time, seasonal, you name it.
And we had.
Yeah, I mean, if you need this now, we can always just ratify it.
I wasn't gonna pull the trigger. I mean, between scheduling this, putting the program together,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna, the motion will be amended to have a code of finance for review. And then we can make a final recommendation at, next borough
Agreed.
council.
Yeah.
You agree with that
I agree with
motion?
the amendment.
I agree.
Agreed, second.
I agree.
Okay, further
That's fine on
discussion?
piece of paper.
Hearing none.
they're back.
Aye. Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None, ayes have it. Okay, item number 6.
I had also, well, Melissa had provided you with your agenda, copies of ADA accommodation forms. There was a comment made by an employee last week that was along the lines of stating they may need an accommodation, but they never came out and outright asked for an accommodation. So, Chris being on vacation, I used Jana as my HR law source, which I very much appreciate. She had several good recommendations. Steve was able to give me some template forms that Tompkins used that, this is the 4 various forms as to the memo between the employee and myself documenting, I think you're asking for some type of accommodation. This is the discussion that's based off of the actual request form the employee would submit, as well as their medical provider would need to fill out a portion of the form if there's actual medical disabilities or accommodations required. There's an interactive form that is for our use in-house as to just kind of keeping track of the request as it goes through the process. And then the template form for the actual response once a decision has been made as to the accommodation request. So this is more of just an FYI that we didn't have these before, we have them now and we're gonna start using them. So thank you again to Steve and Jana,
So no action needs to be taken by borough council.
correct.
Executive session, thank you. It's something we probably should have had, but nothing else came up before, so. Skip 7 because we moved that up, old business, any old business?
I have one thing, just an FYI to the committee, this year's approved budget has a new buildings and grounds position in it. That position was advertised in February. Jim and Greg have been conducting interviews. Their final set of interviews is tomorrow. They have a lead candidate in mind, so coming out of tomorrow, I would issue a conditional offer letter subject to, the physical, the drug screening, et cetera. That would give them until council to get all those things taken care of, and then under my manager's report at council, I would request a motion to formally hire.
It's in the budget, it's not outside the budget, it's fine.
That's all I have.
Anything else? Old business, none?
I have an objection, Mr.
No,
Chairman.
this is not your time to speak.
No, it's an objection on the sunshine law, and I can make it at any time.
Well, now
What's your
explain it that way, what is your objection?
The fact that you just mentioned that the executive session was only on personal matters, that's not enough for sunshine law. Thank you, that was it. I guess I can get the message across.
Any new business? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None, ayes have it. Thank you.
Productive.
I love it.